Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another edition of the UFL Newsletter Podcast. It is your host, Commissioner Cole C. Wagner, special pod today. We are going to bring on a man who has won a UFL Cup in 2023, who is a well-known member throughout the league as he's been here for 5 years, going on year number six. He's been around a long time, ladies and gentlemen. He's been there. He's done that. He will have a drink in hand tonight with what I am being told. This man is he's unpredictable. He's absolutely unpredictable. Big fishing guy. You'll see him out on the waters a whole lot, and we're excited to have him on again. We had him on last year, going into the playoffs in 2024, and we decided, you know what? We're gonna bring him back. We're gonna absolutely bring him back, and he's gonna make some big announcements tonight. He's going to announce his 2025 keeper class. And I'm excited. I'm absolutely excited. I'm not just saying that because I got Buffalo Wild Wings on the way. That's for sure. We got Jordan Love. Is he going to keep him? I assume so. Joe Mixon. I assume so. Devontae Adams, Puka Nacua. Guys like that, they matter, and I expect him to bring it back going into 2025. And I'll tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, guess who's coming in hot here on a Wednesday at 6:30? He's coming in hot, and there he is. There he is, ladies and gentlemen. William D. Willie, the Captain D. Daniel, here he is. How is it going on your end? How is the captain? Oh, what a terrific hat, man. What a terrific hat.
That's your service.
The captain. How's it going up in at ECU, sir?
It's going, dude. It's another day.
Love to hear it. Love to hear it. And
Failed my first exam in PT school last week, so that was fun.
very nice.
Yeah,
You know
right.
what? I love that. I love that. Now tell the ladies and gents at home what is on hand tonight. What are you drinking, William?
Well, the correct answer will probably end up being all the above, but we're starting with the tactical from Old Armor in the Old Armor mug.
Oh, man, I gotta tell you, I was not expecting that one. Give us a review. What do we got?
It's good. It's just like an orange ale. It's
Okay.
one of my favorites. One of my favorites there. Perfect for the summertime.
Very nice, very nice. All right, Willie D, let's get going right into it. A lot of things to talk about. I was previewing the pod before you hopped in. Before we get into what everybody's here for, that 2025 keeper announcement, let's go back to 2023. Who doesn't love to reminisce a UFL Cup? So you beat Cole Pletcher 134 to 99. Now, obviously, that was over a year ago, so you're ready to get back to the promised land again. But what I was looking into it today, it was fascinating. You're the only UFL Cup champion to have four free agent ads in your starting lineup, excluding kicker.
All right. I didn't know
So
that.
I really, when I look back into that season, I had no idea. One, injuries plagued you and everybody.
Yeah, that
And
was a big injury season.
yeah, there was nothing like extremely no team like too top heavy. It really came down to depth in the end. I want you to take me through. Do you remember your mindset? Because you had Sam Howe, because Kirk Cousins went down week 8, and you rocked Gardner Minshew. Why'd you drop Howe and go to Minshew? And you had a couple other guys too, Ty Chandler, and Gerald Everett, who you added in December. Like looking at that, I need people to know. Will started 6-1 that year. He lost four in a row to go 6-5. And then he adds those guys and starts going on a tear. Why'd you add Minshew? Do you remember?
I more remember that like because he said I had Howell and I'd looked and Howell had like more of the chance to be like have the big game,
Right.
but Minshew was a little bit more consistent throughout the season in the games that he had played. So
Sure.
going into the championship game, I wanted more consistency because I was still betting on my other skill players to score the big points, which they did end up doing.
Correct. And you finished that year. You won 6 games in a row, including the playoffs, three in the regular season, three in the playoffs. You only
Yeah.
had 100 points twice in your first 10 weeks, and you scored 100 points in six of your last 7 games. I mean, that just goes to show. how important it is to get hot. And like I think about my team in 24 this past season. Like I wasn't the best team, David was, but you just get hot at the right time. Like that's so important.
Yeah, for sure, 100%.
So Devontae Adams had four out of 40 piece in that game, 13 for 126 and two touchdowns.
That was
He's meant
big.
everything to you. Tell us a little bit. Don't give away too much, but as we assume you're coming back for a year six with him. At that point, it was year four. How much has he meant to you in the UFL realm?
I mean, he's obviously been one of the biggest pieces of my team, definitely the longest standing piece of my team. The only, I mean, really, besides Jonathan Taylor that year,
Right,
and
correct.
Puka, how late he played in the season. I mean, he's been the MVP for the team like since the
Right.
beginning. Little bit of a down season last year, so we're looking for a little bit of improvement. Maybe, hopefully, he'll have some more consistency at the quarterback spot, so he's getting some good balls thrown
Yeah.
to him. I
Are
mean,
you
he's
glad
still,
he's out of New York?
yeah.
Okay, it was
I
tough.
think I am. I think
Yeah.
I think it'll be better for him, and I'm hoping to see more numbers out of him this year.
Do you remember? I would need to look. The Puka Nacua edition obviously will go down as an all-time. It was the best signing award for a reason. That's an all-time ad. He had a 20 piece in the UFL Cup. He won UFL Cup MVP. Do you remember like picking him up? Were you just like, yeah, I'll take a flyer on this guy, or were you convinced he was something special at that point? Do you remember?
Oh, I'll be real with you. I had never heard of the dude before. Um,
Wow.
I I don't even know why. I know I'm pretty sure I picked him up because somebody got hurt.
Yeah.
I know it was early, but I picked him up because somebody got hurt, and I can't remember who it was. But
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. It was just I
Just
was
luck.
thinking, it was actually one of the things that was I hadn't taken a rookie. I don't think I'd ever had a rookie on my team, or at least never taken one that early.
Yeah. Yeah.
I kind of wanted to try it out.
Wow, that's a really interesting mindset. And what I think is fascinating is you chose a route that I had personally not chosen a whole bunch of. When injuries happened and adversity struck in the middle of the season, Kirk Cousins goes down week 8. Jonathan Taylor was on and off all season
Mhm.
with injuries. Like you decided to go to the waiver wire or free agency instead of trading. Are you a big trader, especially now if this is a dynasty? Well, how would you describe yourself? Is this by like design? Do you specifically go after free agents over trading?
I'd like to. I haven't been the biggest trader in the history of the league. I don't know where I stand in
Right.
most trades all the time, but I would have to imagine I'm pretty far in the bottom half.
Yeah, yeah.
But
Okay.
but I don't know. I like seeing who's available and if I can make a trade without having to, potentially maybe lose somebody else that could be productive for me. That's kind of the mindset I have with that.
100%. And what I think is hilarious is you started off 23 with the most points ever in a UFL Cup game. That record stood until this past season, ironically, to Devin, the same guy you got it against in week 3. And then you just tailed off until the very end. You got hot. Gardner Minshew, like I said, and you won the UFL Cup. So obviously, I just wanted to go back because I know that article just released of the 5 most entertaining cups, and I just remember looking through it, and I'm like, this guy had the fourth because we have a new metric now, power score. You had the fourth best power score. You weren't number one, number two. Like,
Yeah.
it's not like your team was like far and away better. They just got hot at the right time.
Something I was going to say too. I don't even think that's the best team that I've had.
You know what? I don't think it is either. Is there a specific team?
I personally think last year's team, without injuries, was one of the best teams I've had.
Wow.
And I think that got proved towards the end.
I agree. You finished with a 3 game win streak. If we did include playoff games, like because you're not in the playoffs, but if
Yeah.
we included consolation, you won all 3. So your team definitely got hot. So is that kind of a hint at you saying you don't want to switch too many things up? You believe if this team stays healthy, they can really make a run in 25?
Yeah, I think so. I just gotta, consider a few things as they go. I do plan on being a little more active in the trading market this year.
Whoa.
There's a couple things I kind of want to explore.
Can you allude on that? Take a sip here,
I
Willie.
mean, oh boy, let's go. Let's look at her here.
I mean, that's really fascinating because we just talked about how you were always a big, you trusted the free agent market more than you did trading for assets. And
Yeah,
I feel like it's going to be every trade is now more examined than ever with coverage and all that. So what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I don't know. There's just been, a few guys that are kind of here and there. They can have big seasons or not, and I kind of just, see how everything starts. I don't plan on making any pre-draft trades. I'm not. I don't think I'm gonna do
Yeah.
it. But who knows?
Yeah,
Never know.
that's not a big trend in this league anyways.
Yeah, but
Uh,
maybe some more early season moves than I've done in the past. 'Cause I think most of my trades I've even ever done have been closer to the trade deadline.
yeah, well, you know what? I mean, we can look right here actually at the trades that you've done. I mean, in 24, you had one trade with me. You traded Judy away for Dontavian Wicks. Real quick, again, without giving away too much, like actually, no. We'll wait for that one because I'm very interested to see what you do with him, if you keep him or not. In 23, your championship year, you were quiet. In 22, nothing major, a minor trade with Andrew and a pick. And then in 2020, wow, you were very active in 2020 with
Yeah,
five trades.
yeah, that was my big year for with trades. I remember that.
Yeah, it and honestly, man, you haven't given it up that you really felt like you could have won that championship in 2020 if
Yeah.
things didn't go your way. But we're not even going to talk about that. But looking at 2024 real quick before we dive in to your keepers, talk about the year that you had now that we're past removed from that season. Like, what do you really think about that year? Are you that underwhelmed? Obviously, 5-9 is not where you want to be. Just give me your thoughts on last year.
I mean, obviously didn't go how I wanted it to.
Right.
Excuse me. But towards the end of the season, I saw a lot of promise. I mean, my guys were rolling at the end of the year.
Right.
I think we're gonna have some good kind of move arounds this year with some free agency stuff that's been happening.
Yeah.
I think I've got enough cap space to work with to get some more assets in. I've been kind of looking around a little bit.
100%.
But yeah, no, I mean, it just sometimes it's just the luck of the draw. Sometimes you can only do so much.
Yeah, yeah. And again, sometimes a bad start, you can only do so much after a bad start. Like I said, you won your last three games. That was three of your five wins came at the end when everybody got healthy. Um, you're a Packers fan. Like, what as a Packers fan and as a fantasy owner, Jordan Love, what does he mean to you? How good is he a top 10 quarterback in your opinion? Is he a top 15 quarterback? Like, what is your actual opinion of him?
He's got the potential, that's for sure. He
100%.
just I don't know. He's got maybe a little bit too much of that Brett Favre in him too early with being
Yeah.
that gunslinger mentality. And that worked a little bit more in Brett Favre's day. So I'd like to see him maybe come back a little bit more, kind of doing the more, I mean, the scramble game worked so well for us for years. I mean, we did have one of the best scrambling quarterbacks ever, but like
Yeah.
we still have some people on that team that, know how to run those scramble routes, do stuff like that. But I don't know, he's been huge. I mean, hell, we're paying him enough to where he better be a damn top 10 quarterback. I'm paying him enough too.
Yeah, not just we, it's you now. No, I agree. And I like the moves that the Packers made in general with the wide receiver room. I think it's really going to help him. I think the offense can only go up from here. And yeah, I think you're going to do a good job no matter what. So, real quick, before you make the announcement, I just want to share with everybody, where we're at right now. So looking at Will's team, so his quarterbacks, you said what?
No, I just coughed.
Oh, my bad. So quarterback wise, we got Jordan Love at 53 million. Derek Carr is the backup at 37. Actually, you know what? This is perfect. We'll go through this by position. So I'll preview, then you make your decision. You have your decisions, correct?
Hmm?
All right, so first up is the quarterback room. Jordan Love projected at 288 points. He had a pretty solid year last year with 256, 25 touchdowns, 11 picks. He's at 53, I think, million a year for Will. So he's there, and then Derek Carr retired. So I think that's pretty self-explanatory. So Will, what are your decisions keeper wise at quarterback, and walk me through why you chose what you did.
So, obviously, I think it's pretty obvious I'm gonna be keeping Jordan Love.
Yep. Okay.
Only thing about that is, his contract does put a little bit of burden on the team, like with trying to grow and expand and stuff, but still got enough now to where it's not that big of a deal. When some of my players come off their rookie contracts, that might be a little bit more of an issue.
Yep.
Um, but I think with our additional weapons, him getting older, gaining more experience, having, being able to train with the more experienced quarterbacks throughout the year, I'm thinking I'm going to see a good trend upwards with him and hopefully get those picks down a little bit.
I think that's all that's holding him back. I mean, he's got the arm talent. He's shown flashes. I mean, especially towards the end of 2023. And at different times, he's amazing. It is just going to come down to interceptions. Now, interceptions have gone from -6 to -3.
Yeah,
So
which
that kind of takes a little bit of a burden off gunslingers, luckily. So it's just about staying healthy, staying consistent. I like the pick. I'm glad when you mentioned in the podcast and the last one you were in, you mentioned maybe steering away from Love. I'm glad you're sticking with him. I think he's the guy and he can win you a cup. Derek Carr, I assume you are moving on from Derek Carr. So so backup wise, where's your head at? Are you thinking cheap rookie, cheap veteran? Are you saying, you know what, screw it, let me see if I can get a Baker if David drops Baker for 33 million and really like stretch the cap? Like, what's your thought there? Because real quick, you would not have had a lot of room if the cap counted this year with Derek Carr at 37. So where's your head at?
yeah, I kind of like that idea of, waiting to see if anybody gets dropped at first, just to see if we have that kind of, mid-tier quarterback that can still have those good games, but also, not put too much of a burden on the price.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. Love that. All right, running back. Um, this is interesting to me just because we have a starter in Joe Mixon who is aging, but when he's on the field, he's excellent. He had 333 points last season. He's projected 348 this year. He hit 1,000 yards last season. He's projected to hit 1,000 again this year. He's getting older. Right now, his cap number I think stands at 8 million. I'm gonna have to pull this stuff up. So Joe Mixon, he was good when healthy. What's your decision on him? And then Algier and
Sure.
Ty J Spears as well.
Yeah, so Mixon definitely going to be a keeper for me.
Okay.
He's been, probably he's been the second best running back I've had in probably the history of this league,
Yeah.
behind Taylor.
Correct.
He had some good games last year. As long as he can stay healthy, I mean, I think the sky's the limit for Mixon.
Yeah, 100% agree with that. I think when he left Cincinnati, people were kind of starting to think that maybe it was the beginning of the end. Again, if healthy in that system, you're getting a 20 point per game guy in Joe Mixon. I think that's the correct decision to continue with him to 25. Tyjae Spears is at I think 2 million or 1 million, and then Tyler Algier, who honestly Algier's a great back when he's on the field and he's 1 million. What is your decision on those two, Will?
Now that's one I've been going back and forth with for a little bit. I mean, if you're looking at the numbers, I mean, the numbers really aren't too too different. I mean, Algier's got far more rushing yards than Spears does. I mean, he's got 300 more rushing yards. I
Right.
just think he didn't get those, closer to the end zone touches to get those few touchdowns that would have made the point difference.
Yeah.
I'm going to be keeping Tyler Algier.
Okay. I love that. I really do. He's $1 million. At worst, he's your third string running back. And if Bijan ever goes down, that's an immediate potential flex or start. So love that. And then Tajay, are you gonna run it back with Tajay? Are you just gonna, because remember, you can always throw him back to the draft, and if he falls, you can take him again. What's your thoughts on him?
Yeah, I don't really have any plans to keep him at the moment. We'll just,
Right.
see how stuff plays out.
Yeah, I think that's the right call. All right, going to the wide receiver room. This is a loaded room, man. This is a loaded room. And kind of everything is working out the way you want to where you have the money now with Devontae Adams at 23, Calvin Ridley's at 23 million, Jameson Williams is still at 4, and Puka Nacua is a buck. Like it's incredible right now. Puka's still on that rookie deal. I assume you keep all four, but I want you to walk me through each one of those four. First with Devontae Adams. He's been there for 5 years for you. He has had so many incredible seasons. He's never won Best Wide Receiver award, but he's been damn close. Tell me your thoughts on him.
Yeah, I mean, obviously Devontae's going to be on for another year.
Love
It's
it.
just, I mean, it's hard to let go of him, but
It's
you
a
know,
tactic.
looking back at last season, it was a little kind of iffy at times, and
Yeah,
he had a few really good games, and he had a lot of bad games.
yeah.
So I don't know. That's one that person who I haven't really explored putting out there on the trade block. Could be one that I look at this year.
Interesting. I would be fascinated to see your emotions and how you handled that with Devontae because he's been there through everything, man. He won a cup with you. Going to Calvin Ridley next. We'll go by cap number. 23 million for Ridley. He has shown so much flash in his career, but he's never just fully put it together. He's with a rookie quarterback in Cam Ward. Um, what's your thoughts on Calvin? Are you running it back with Ridley?
Yeah, for now for now I plan on it just because I'd like to see what he can do. Hopefully with a more consistent quarter. I mean, we'll see how Cam Ward is. I've got some mixed feelings on Cam Ward or really anything that comes out of Miami, but that's another story for another.
Again.
But no, I like all the promise that I've seen with him. It's just been, can he stay consistent? Can he, you know, not gamble his paycheck away? And can he have the support staff that helps him get those numbers that I need him to get?
I love that, man. Yeah, he's projected to 99, so he's right at that 300 mark. So yeah, I think that's the right move. Jameson Williams, $4 million. I'm not gonna lie, the first like rookie year or whatever, maybe it was 2 seasons, he was not really anywhere to be found. And then last year, like he popped, man. He had
Yeah.
he had a buck over 1,000 yards, 7 touchdowns. And now he had 267 fantasy points, and
Yeah.
he's projected 285 this year. He's only $4 million. I assume you're running it back with JMO.
Oh yeah. I mean, I had nothing bad to say about him last year. I mean, he's a great pickup. I did way more than I was expecting.
Yeah, yeah, right.
I mean, hopefully for his sake, I mean, not for the Packers' sake, but for the Lions' sake, hopefully they can keep it running. He can still get his and,
Yeah.
keep performing for my team at least, but just not against Packers.
Do you think Ben Johnson leaving, does that worry you at all for JMO?
I think he's still got the what he needs to succeed.
Yeah.
Not too worried about
Yeah. All right. And then Puka Nakua, $1 million. He's a superstar. I was really not much to be said. I assume you're bringing back Puka.
that. Hell, I'm just kidding. I mean, it. I mean, how do you even say no to that?
Yeah. Yeah.
With still him being on his rookie contract, whenever that's up, that could be an interesting thing. But I got a
Yeah.
couple. I got probably a few people who I'd cut before that.
Real quick, is it weird having I got to go back and see if you've ever had this two starting wide receivers on the same team? Does that weird you
I
out at
have
all?
I have had that before.
Okay. What is your thoughts on it? Does it bother you at all?
I'm trying to remember who it was. Hold on. I
Because
can't remember what team that was on.
yeah, go look. That's always fascinated me. Like if you were to rock, because both could eat, and then are you almost hedging at that point? Because if one doesn't, that surely means the other does. Or if there's a really bad day for the offense and it's really bad for you, like that's just really interesting.
Yeah, I can't remember when it was, but yeah, no, I've definitely had that before. I'm pretty sure, but it's definitely a risk. But I feel like I mean, the Rams spread the ball out a good bit, and especially like, I mean, obviously they're going to give Devontae like probably a lot of those goal line touches, like just with how powerful he is, how big he is going up for those fade routes.
I think you're right.
But I think they're still going to spread the ball out a lot. I honestly can see Devontae and Puka getting kind of split even touches.
Yeah.
And I'd be fine with that if if as long as Devontae comes back up a little bit and Puka can go down just a little bit, I'm fine with that.
Yeah. 100% agree with that.
Because that'll be a 50-point thing right there.
Yeah, it's almost like I think about Godwin and Evans. Both of them in Tampa, they do good together on a weekly basis. So, um, Christian Kirk, and this is a reason you were over the cap a little bit last year, and he
Mhm.
wasn't really producing. He's $18 million. He's in Houston now. He gets another shot. Are you keeping Kirk?
He's not one I'm going to stick with this year.
Yeah.
This does seem to be a trend throughout our league that Christian Kirk underperforms. And,
Oh, cheap shot on Christian Kirk, man.
didn't you say that too?
Yeah,
You
yeah.
said
Hey, slow it down
it.
there, Will. That's off the record, pal. No, I'm playing.
Anyway, but yeah, and now that I'm getting rid of him, he's probably gonna have the best season of his damn career. But it's just not a risk I'm willing to take at this point.
Yeah, I think that's the right move, 100%. Now this one's really interesting. Dontavian Wicks. You traded for him last year. He's $1 million. He has shown so much potential. He has serious problems with actually catching the football. Will
Yeah.
you be letting him go to the draft and just pick him up again if he's the best guy available, or do you really want him going at 25 and you want anybody else to take him?
Right now, my plan is to keep Wicks.
Wow.
I like the promise he's shown, and I don't know. I have a feeling that, you would think in an off season you could work on actually catching the football. Hopefully he's done that.
Yeah.
If he hasn't done that, then I might put his ass back up on a trade block. But
And he did go to Virginia, rival of the old Hokies.
yeah, I know. Uh, All
But
right, he didn't beat us too much.
yeah, true. That
You
is
know.
actually interesting. I had you projected to let him walk to the draft just in case somebody else came available. But I love that, man. I love that. Sticking to your guys got a lot of potential. Tight end. You picked up Isaiah Likely last year. He's your only tight end as it stands. He's $1 million. He is the backup in Baltimore. Do you really want him going into the draft, or are you willing to let him walk here to 2025?
I think he's one that I could keep. I mean, I haven't really taken too much of a look at the tight ends that may or may not be available.
Right.
I mean, I've won a championship. I mean, I know a tight end's still an important position, but I mean,
Yeah.
I've won a championship before with Gerald Everett, so you know. So
Hold on, bro. That's an unwarranted shot at Gerald Everett, man. That's a that's good. I like that. That's good.
hey, he
Whoo.
did average 6.9 points. Nice.
Oh, this is too good. This is too good. That's awesome, man. Okay, so he is. You said are you running it back with him or not? I forget what you said.
Yeah, I'm running back with him.
Okay, I think that's the right call. Okay, so that puts you at 117 million in allocated money, 38 million in space. That leaves you a quarterback, um, a running back, and a tight end to be picked. Looking at your picks, so you have three spots. You have two picks, so that means you'll have one extra at the end, and you'll pick it at the end of the draft.
Yeah.
You have pick three, which is very interesting because your team is a lot better than pick three, so that could be scary. Are you thinking like a like a Quinshon Judkins, like a running back, just in case Mixon goes down? Are you thinking maybe Jordan Love's not the guy and I want like Cam Ward, or are you thinking like Colston Loveland at tight end? Like, where's your thought right now? You don't have to give away your pick, but like, where's your head at right now?
I mean, I think it's hard not to go with the running back slot. I mean,
Yeah,
just just in case. I mean, Algier may not get those touches that I'm thinking he might get this year. So in case he doesn't get those, it'd be nice to have another option at the running back position to, just have some more consistency.
I think that's the right call. I think that's the right call. Absolutely. Okay, man. So that's your keepers. That's pretty much what I thought going into 2025. You did a great job of freeing up cap. Carr retiring helps you out.
Yeah, it
Uh,
wasn't.
so that is good. And going into 2025, not looking so much at yourself, just around the league. Who are some teams that kind of catch your eye? Who are the favorites in your opinion?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of good teams out there this year. I mean, obviously, I think David's going to have another great season.
Yeah.
I think he's going to keep running it. It's I mean, it was kind of hard to touch him last year. It's pretty amazing that he did not win the whole thing.
Yeah, it is. And I'm sure glad he
Um,
didn't.
yeah, no kidding.
I think David, I'll just go ahead and tell you my like cream of the crop. I have three elites for the contenders
Mhm.
right now. I have
Okay.
David, Andrew, and Devin. And the reason being Andrew's bringing back everybody, all 10. Like he's letting go of like two nothings. No offense,
Yeah,
Nick Chubb, love you. Um, and then Devin is just got some star power, dude. Like
I was going to talk about him next. Devin is he. If I would have to say somebody I might be the most scared of, it might be Devin. He's got a lot of weapons on that team.
it's about if the wide receivers produce, in my
Yes,
opinion.
for sure.
Yeah, that's what it is. I don't know if T. Higgins and Ricky Pearsall will ever be number ones. They're great number twos.
Mhm.
It's just about and maybe Devin can win without them being numbered or without them being number ones. You
You
know,
could.
like when you got McCaffrey and Barkley, like and Burrow and Bowers, my God, dude, that's
Yeah.
like you can probably get away with it. So that's where my head's at on
I
him.
mean, I mean, with a healthy Christian McCaffrey and a healthy Saquon, I mean, that's 60 points just out of those two on
Yeah,
the app, probably. I
right.
mean, obviously McCaffrey's numbers don't, add up to what they probably should have been last year. But
Yeah.
there's always the thing too. Will McCaffrey be healthy?
Yeah, and that's a good point. And that's a good point because then if you have to slide Barkley back to the starting lineup, and that's saying Barkley stays healthy. So I will say, I'm glad you brought that up. One risk of building a running back heavy team is injuries.
Yes.
Because if those guys go down, now granted, somehow, Devin's third string running back is James Conner. So I don't know how
Lucky bastard.
but that's what I mean. Like, if you put all your hope into running backs, and we kind of saw it with Trent, is like when these guys get banged up,
Hmm.
that's a tough spot to be in, you know?
Yeah, it's funny you say that because that's always kind of why I've taken the wide receiver approach. I mean, obviously they can still get injured. It's just, they're not the ones getting, you know, hitting the gap every play.
Right, right, exactly. That's where my head was at. That's why I've built more wide receiver heavy too. Um,
For
all
sure.
right, man. Going into 25, the rule changes. Interceptions obviously reduced. Yards go up from 1 point to every 20 to 25. And that's pretty much it. There's now position limits. Looks like we're running out of time here on Zoom. We got 10 minutes left. What's your thoughts on the UFL going into 2025? Are you happy with the league and are you excited for this season?
Yeah, I mean, I still think we're doing better than ever. I mean, definitely best fantasy league around, hard to compete.
100% agree.
I'm excited I'm excited for the season to start and try to give myself another chance to win a cup.
Oh, man, that's
God
special.
for God willing that my team cooperates.
Special year
I,
2023.
I only have zero control over that.
Hey, you always got control. You always got control. Make moves, man. Make moves. That's awesome, man. Well, that's been great. We got the keepers. They have been announced. Willie D is drinking. He's drinking very well over there. Let's see that drink. Where are we at on it?
It's almost gone.
There she
Made
goes.
another one.
Can you finish off the tactical here at the end? Come on, Will. Finish off that tactical for the program. There she goes. That's a hell of a way to end this pod. Anything else you want to touch on?
I don't think so, man. I mean, it's been good talking to you. I think we got some good stuff going.
I agree. And honestly, this is the second time I've had you on. I'm really starting to think if we should just have this as like a co-host, like you and
Yeah,
I host this thing.
I'm down.
Let's do it.
You say the word, I'm down.
Let's do it. Dakota's calling me. I'm answering. We're out. Will, thanks for joining, man. We'll talk to you soon, pal.
All right, see you, buddy.
Peace, everybody.